Hi guys, it's Colette. This is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday, the 24th of June 2019. And I know it's a mad setup today. I'm trying out a new tripod, which, if I can leave it up, will mean that there's not so much wobble. But it means the next few videos may well be an experiment as to where it sits, what angle it's at, whether I can look at it rather than the screen or not. And the first time I tried this tripod, I gave up on it, and that's a shame because it's really got some really good functions on it. So I'm going to try, and if I look a wee bit, as we say in Scotland, paley-wally or pale, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I've had some pain and some insomnia, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to distract myself. And what is the nicest way to distract myself but talking to you? So anyway, you might not like me though. The weekly tarot card for the week ahead is the Ten of Swords. See that? We've got the sort of madness in the head. It says ruination or ruin on it. There's all sorts of problems with this card. So I'm not going to keep it up too long, and we're going to get started on it. So, how do we use a Ten of Swords? Because it's not a good card and no one can say it's a good card, but we can use it as a warning. We can use it as something that lets us know that in the week ahead there may be problems that could make us feel as though we've either been stabbed in the back or we've lost the plot, really, and also that maybe things going on round about us are so out with our own control that we have to just accept them and try and find a way through them. So, in general, what does it mean? Well, kind of that, but in the general world situation, it's not the best of cards. I have to be very truthful about that. There could be a situation where certain governments clash, climate change, maybe something quite brutal showing up, and maybe even just the sense of it can come out in a way that brings like a resurgence up of something that's maybe been held down, but with this card it tends to come up in quite a violent way. So although you could have maybe certain countries having rebellions, revolutions or whatever, it tends to come out after a whack or something's been done that people go no. So worldwide the energies with this card are not particularly good. It can also mean that there can be things that make us all need to really pull together. With other cards round about it could mean earthquakes, it could mean floods. It very much is a threat, and that's the way you have to look at it. So most weeks I'm saying, you can go into the week ahead thinking, I'll do that, it's positive for this, use this as a wee threat, watch reputation, stuff like that. Not with the Ten of Swords, sorry, but it's not a good card. And it's more about the mental aspects that it brings to us, how it makes us feel, that sense of, I've gone so far and I can't get back up again. So watch out for people that are vulnerable this week, whether they're mentally vulnerable or they're vulnerable health-wise, they're vulnerable to danger, they're vulnerable to nasty things. If you can use it that way, you could actually be really helpful for someone. And sometimes with this card as well, the response to it brings out like disaster relief, or when you see like things going on in like Facebook or Twitter where people are saying, could you crowdfund for this, could we have this? So worldwide and in the general atmosphere of our planet, this is not the best card. So let's look at it more individually. Now remember, this is a kind of thread for everybody. Not everybody's going to feel it massively, but most will feel it as an undercurrent anyway, and some people will feel it massively. So if you look at your career, basically what we have here is the potential for someone to go after your reputation, for a redundancy, for a mistake to be made that will take a lot of rectifying. So watch that one if you're in a job that very much needs that perfection. You know, I don't want to, you know, maybe say one profession or one job's better than another, but you know, if this is someone that's doing an operation, it's a potentially horrible card. You know, even in my previous occupation, you know, if this card came out, because I was doing the tarot when I was a pharmacist as well, it was a warning to watch out for mistakes, anything that could not only do my reputation in, but also hurt someone. So be extra careful with the job this week. Try not to be tired. Try not to overestimate your capabilities or capacities. And that's the best I can say on it, to be honest. Excuse me, that's right. If we look at, what do I do next? Health. Well, you can see that there's a drastic mental health aspect to that card. 10 of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck and some of the general decks has a man lying on the floor with 10 swords in his back and he's not getting up. So sometimes this is warning that if you don't change patterns, you're heading for a problem. I've seen it come out to warn about health issues that have been building up. In fact, a friend of mine years ago got this out a few months in a row. And I warned her about them, and she had really bad blood pressure. And then a wee bit further down the line, things happened that were very sad. So if you know that you have an area of health that you're not looking after, get a grip, please. I'll join you with that, okay? Because I've not been doing my renal diet as well as I should have been, and I know when I'm not doing it because I puff right up and I'm running to the loo all the time and I'm itchy and oh my god, there's so many symptoms. And it's just like everything else, you know what you should do, you know what keeps you healthy, and every so often you're just like, you know what, I can't be bothered. And I know a lot of people that are feeling that way with maybe exercise, with taking medications. I've heard a few people in the last couple of weeks, excuse me, that have actually just missed medication. You know, if you're meant to be on medication and it's keeping you alive, you take it. So again, that's the threat of this card health-wise, and it's also the potential for anxiety, for depression, for a sense of just not being great at all. So that's the health aspects. It's not really a physical thing, although it can be if you are not looking after yourself. And this can be a build-up of not looking after yourself for years, okay? Love, oh God, what a card to have to tell you about. Love can bring a situation that if you're in a long-term relationship can make you feel that you've been hurt. Maybe partners said something about you or told you something, and in the week ahead this can be rocky boats for relationships all round, and it can also indicate that there's just far too much pressure on relationships, and maybe you could view it in that way, that if you really feel that relationships on a kind of cliff edge, well, you either let it jump off with this card and see where it goes, or you try and take the pressure off, communicate, okay? Not a good card particularly, but it's not going to affect everybody. It's a general thread and influence. If you're looking for a partner, watch that you don't get someone that's a narcissist, a sociopath, and or someone that's maybe just not very nice. That's a big warning on this card if you're looking for a partner. In fact, I would just lock the door, get some cheesecake and just not go out. It's a bit extreme, but you know what I mean. It's not the week to be actively looking for a partner. Finances, again, watch out for fraud, computer fraud, bank fraud, being mugged for your money, making a mistake that causes you a loss, whether that's, you know, being caught up in an internet scam or a telephone scam. Just be careful. Spiritually, I know it sounds crazy, but this, and when it's with other cards, but let's just take it on its own. It can sometimes represent the long night of the soul, where a shamanic initiation takes place, or the start of it. Shamanic initiation isn't over in a few hours, but it can be the thing that puts you to the bottom, where you're thinking, what am I meant to be doing here? I don't know. I don't understand myself anymore. I don't know why I'm so different. Am I mad? Am I not? Whatever. So in a way, if I'm reading for a spiritual person, or or giving advice on spirituality, and this card comes out, especially with other cards round about it, I would be quite interested to say, look, I'll support you with this. This is going to be quite an initiation. You know, it could take the form of almost feeling like a bad trip of some sort, or feeling that you're going to die when you're not. It's a very intense thing. If any of you are interested, look up Shamanic Initiation or Long Night of the Swords or Soul. Other paths and religions have other names for this. It's also called the Long Night of the Crucifixion, Long Night of Swords. But what happens is, if you are courageous and if you hold on, you'll come through it, and you'll come through it spiritually the best you can be. So there we go. I suppose there's one good aspect of it, and that's spiritually, even though to get there you have to go through trauma. But to me, you know, obviously I've had my shamanic initiation, so I don't need another one. And you just need to do this once, really, you know. Although sometimes at different levels you have a slight equivalent, but it's not the full-blown initiation that takes you into the shaman path. So I'll leave that with you, and if the sound isn't good, let me know. If anything's wrong, don't, this is the sort of just wakened up kind of shove some mascara on face. Don't comment too much on anything but the technical things, because I've had 2 hours sleep. So anyway, if you like the way I read the tarot, my book Tarot Novice to Pro in one book by Colette Clairvoyant is out just about everywhere online. It's no longer in physical bookshops because it's been out since 2011. Anyway, I love you and leave you, and I hope this actually has gone okay, because you know I can't edit yet. I've been saying that for 3 years. Anyway, be safe, look after yourselves, be proactive in looking after yourselves. And maybe if we all could, I know this is a Great Wee community channel, maybe we could all send out healing, and be proactive in maybe healing whatever's going to come out in the world. So hopefully see you next week for the weekly tarot card. I didn't mean that the way it looked there, like I hopefully see you, the world's going to end. I didn't mean it in that way. What I meant was, I hope you're around for the weekend. That just sounds worse. Oh God. See you next week for the weekly tarot card. Bye for now. Many blessings.